Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Max with BuzzTox here, and I am back with another His Dark Materials reaction and review for Season 1, Episode 3. Now the first thing I want to touch on is the concept of multi-dimensional worlds or a multiverse. And we see Carlo exploring that throughout these last 3 episodes, where he keeps jumping from a portal from his world to our world. And we know that this is a big staple of this show, because if you look at the credit scenes, you see worlds compiling on top of each other in the form of northern lights. And we got the hint in episode 1 that without dust in the way, the northern lights can be seen as a portal to another world. And with Carlo, we're finding that other portals do exist, where he enters this garden and he ends up in the other world. And what we see is both worlds have different advantages and disadvantages. Carlo likes our world for its different technologies and culture, but he's also after something different. This person who went missing, that he thinks that's from his world, but it's actually from our world. And we know from the last episode that the General Oblation Board, led by Miss Coulter, seems to be focusing on separating demons from children, because they're malleable and adaptable. While also, children have that level of malleability and innocence where their demons can constantly change and they're not affected by dust. So a child's innocence is very important throughout this show, because it's adaptable and malleable. And the General Oblation Board is using that to their advantage, but they also stand for the Magisterium, which is a very highly regulated force. You could almost see it as a religion or a belief that discourages the exploration of different ideas and ideologies. And we see that last episode when Lara is with Miss Coulter, she wants to mold her into exactly who she wants, so she can achieve what she wants. Miss Coulter knows that Lara is special, and so do the Egyptians that we see in this episode. When Lara is rescued by Tony Costa, she ends up talking to John Fa and Farda Karam. And they want to protect her, but John Fa makes it very known that Lyra is very important to them, and they've known her since she was a baby. But she is not a prisoner, and they need to earn her trust. He's not going to ask her for their trust. And on top of that, he can't even tell Lyra why she's even special. And that's the difference here, where Miss Coulter, who stands for the Magisterium, wants to mold Lyra into exactly what she desires. The Egyptians are taking a step back and letting Lyra be the person who she's meant to be. And we even see this with Maya Costa and Lyra. She shows her some cooking tricks, but then tells Lyra that she can be whoever she wants to be, and she doesn't need to be Egyptian. It's her path to choose. So we're seeing a real difference between the Egyptians and the people who stand for the Magisterium. And that's what's so important about this scene between Farda Karam and Lyra talking about their demons. The fact that a demon takes the form and solidifies when you're an adult, and it's a reflection of your true self. And they're so interconnected to your soul that if you look at your demon and you don't like the form of it, then you really have an issue with yourself and who you are. And we see that with Miss Coulter, because she hits her monkey. She can be away from her demon. There's almost no connection to her own self. Whereas Lyra doesn't want her demon Pantalaimon to ever change, because she likes that he can change form. And that's the malleability of youth. She's going to go with the Egyptians. She's going to be with the Magisterium, and she's going to learn and adapt to form who she is. And that's why preserving her self-thought is important to the Egyptians. And we see that difference broadened further when Miss Coulter is looking for Lyra and goes to the college, and she speaks with the master. And she finds out that Lyra is not there and she has an alethiometer, but she burns all the books, all of their knowledge, all of their discoveries, because she doesn't believe knowledge or self-expression. And it's more of following their way of life without asking any questions. Keeping people uneducated is a good way to get them to follow. And this book burning was very similar to what we saw in World War II. Nazis burned many historical books to demonize historical educational texts because they threatened the Nazi ideology. And we see the struggle on the two sides and Lyra in the middle, and she needs to end up making her own decisions. And we see her get farther with the reading of the alethiometer. She's actually able to clear her mind, and she learns that Benjamin was killed when Tony and Benjamin left to go steal information from Miss Coulter's home. So this means that moving forward, that Lyra is going to be able to really hone in her skills on finding the truth in the alethiometer without years and years of studying. But we'll see what else Lyra finds in the upcoming episodes and what decisions she makes that may be against what the Egyptians believe or what the Magisterium believes. Just at the end of this show, we know based on the prophecy that she's going to betray somebody. And I think that that betrayal may come out of self-thought and an education, rather than being ignorant to one side. But now the spies found Lyra on the boat and now they're heading north. So we're going to see a lot of things come up in the north and explore more about this fantasy world. But please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Tell me if you like this episode and what you expect in the upcoming episodes. But until next time, see you guys later.